How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Welcome back to another video as well. We have to go over Sofi stock, which completely collapsed today, as did the entire stock market. Look, the futures are slightly up right now, but look, man, the S&P on the day closed down over 1%. The Dow went down 0.8%, and the Russell and the NASDAQ each went down almost 2%. And look, Sofi stock went down about 10%. Yes, 10%. So we're going to go over the charts, what I'm looking to do, and just in general where my head's at, as again, we are selling off pretty drastically, not just on Sofi, but across the board here. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates. I actually just posted one earlier today. I might need some freaking water while I'm at it, guys. And yeah, if you're interested, that's linked down below. Also, it's pinned in the comments, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon. And now enough of that. Let's get into it. So we got squashed. Sofi went down pretty much in a straight line today. And it wasn't like we, didn't break over 30 bucks. We were actually over 30 bucks. In fact, we almost hit $31 in the morning. So we started off pretty hot, actually, in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of trading. And then all of a sudden, boom, Sofi just tanked. Then it closed at $27.16. And it actually took out the lows, not just from, Wednesday, but obviously Tuesday, Monday, the entire week. We took out the lows from the entire week today. And on the 30-minute chart, you're noticing that as well. We've pretty much taken out the lows. Forget this week, but last week's lows as well. So now we're actually essentially continuing this little downtrend, if you will, on this 30-minute chart. If I draw this out, you guys can see we're making lower lows, lower highs, the whole 9 yards. And on the 1 hour time frame, you start to see, okay, when in doubt, zoom out. It's actually not the end of the world. We're still above the mid-high 20s. Obviously, we're at $27.16 as of close today. We actually popped in the aftermarket. We're at $27.40 after the bell here. So SoFi is still actually fighting to make higher lows on the 1 hour chart. You're noticing that on the year-to-date chart. It's obvious. You can see on the 4 hour chart. So at this point, man, we're just seeing a pretty much needed, or rather a very much needed sell-off here in the stock. And yeah, I mean, you could look at this and be like, it's a falling knife, Stas. What's going on here? Yeah, it kind of is a falling knife. We're under the 50 and the 180 moving averages on the 4 hour, but we're still well above this trend line. You guys notice? Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a falling knife, but technically we're holding a higher low here. You're noticing that for yourselves, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You get the point, right? So yeah, SoFi is getting squashed. Big 10% red day today. But I think, honestly, man, a lot of the weak hands got shaken out today. The panic sellers, right? They're out for now, at least, or some of them. The short-term traders that got spooked, they probably dumped today. And I think the dip will start to get bought up, whether it's in the 25, 26, 27 range. I think it's going to happen. But keep in mind, with everything going on with tariffs, earnings season, who knows? I mean, this could fall a little bit more before we start to recover. But when in doubt, zoom out. That's been my favorite thing to say these last couple of days. And it's funny. I posted my previous video. People were panicking in the comments on YouTube. They're like, Stas, it's over. The market's done. Oh my goodness, I'm going to throw the towel in. The sentiment is just ridiculous. I think overall, especially in the crypto market, there's a lot more fear than there is greed right now. If you look at the fear-greed index in the crypto market, it's at like a 25-30 last I checked. I haven't looked at the stock market fear-greed index, but I bet you, I'm actually going to look it up now. Stock market fear greed index. Let's see. We'll pull up CNN, see what they got us at. Yeah, we're at extreme fear. you know, we're at extreme fear right now. On the in the stock market, fear and greed meter. Let me look at a couple other ones. Yeah, this one's at 24. I mean, they're all right. So I just think we're overblown. I'll be honest. I think we're overblown on a lot of these stocks. The overall market, the sell-off in the short term. We had a great September and October, so we were eventually going to get a little sell-off, and now we have it. SPY's down $20 from the recent highs, which, look, we're still very much holding an uptrend. We're above the old resistance, right, from a couple weeks ago. So this is just a healthy pullback. We're down 2.5%, 3% above the 180 SMA. QQQ, same thing, right? So to those people that were panicking in the comments, freaking relax. Relax. Take a chill pill. Because, guys, again, when in doubt, zoom out. We are still above the moving averages, right? At least the 180 moving average. Uptrends holding. We're above the highs from middle of end of October. So this is all good, man. This is a healthy pullback. People need to relax. And sure, if it does something like this, let's say SPY QQQ dumps another 10%. All right, maybe at that point we have a bigger sell-off on our hands, but we're just not there yet. We're not there yet. And honestly, I don't think we're going to get a big sell-off. I think, sure, it could go down maybe another 1, 2, 3%, if that. But I think we're setting ourselves up for a nice run into the end of the year, which I've been calling for that. And it's so far been playing out correctly. The market's been ripping for weeks and months as the year is slowly but surely wrapping up. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. Sofi, let me know your thoughts there. I'm personally holding Sofi. I'm sure, obviously, you all know that. But I'm not adding on this dip yet. Maybe as a swing trade, depending on how tomorrow's price action goes. But I'm a little hesitant, honestly, holding through the weekend right now on trades. Obviously, with investments, we're holding through the weekend, guys, right? But with my trades, I'm a little bit hesitant right now. But I'll keep an eye on it, of course. And then Monday, Tuesday, if we get an entry point opportunity after the weekend, that would be nice. So Duolingo, let's look at this one quickly. I want to show you guys kind of what's going on here. Thank God we didn't buy this stock. Holy moly. I traded it a couple months ago. I was eyeing it up for a potential play again here back in the end of September. We didn't break out. We didn't fill the gap to about 370. And now we're at under 200. Holy smokes, guys. This stock has been eviscerated, 70% down since May. I mean, that is like, what the hell, man? What is going on with Duolingo? Honestly, I have no idea. Let's see here, actually. We'll look at it together. This comes after the company actually raised their sales guidance. Am I seeing this right? Am I blind or what? They raised their full year 25 sales guidance from 1.01 to 1.02 roughly to about $1.03 billion versus the $1.01 billion. So they raised their guidance a little bit. Looks like EPS came in at $5.95, which beat the 76 cents expected. There's got to be something there to that. We'll see. I got to dive deeper into that. But sales came in at $271 million versus $260 million. So they beat EPS, beat revenue, crushed guidance. Well, I don't want to say crushed guidance, but it was decent guidance for the full year revenue. And it looks like Duolingo surpassed 50 million daily active users, grows daily active users 36% and revenue 41% in the third quarter year over year, which is very good. So I can't put my thumb on it quickly. What is causing this to drop so much? Maybe you guys can give me some insight there. I mean, I'm not 100% the most knowledgeable guy on Duolingo, the stock, but from what I'm seeing here, guidance for Q4 even 273 to 277 million versus 274 million expected. That's pretty good guidance for Q4 for the full year. Again, the double beat, and the stock is just getting eviscerated. Honestly, I got to look deeper into it. But yeah, it's down 25 to 6% today, which is horrible. And now this puts the stock pretty much back where it was about a year ago. Back in July of 2024, about a year and a half ago, we were in the 180s. So pretty much, guys, let's be real. Looking at this chart, Duolingo was probably in a bubble. Obviously hindsight's 2020, but looking back at this chart, was it really worth $550 a share for Duolingo? Probably not. The market cap was probably too high. The company's it was overvalued, and at the end of the day, what do they really do? They're teaching people how to learn languages, which is a beautiful thing. I'm bilingual. I speak Greek. A lot of that was because, well, the main reason I can speak Greek is because, my grandparents, they would watch me when my parents were working growing up, and guess what? They were Greek immigrants. We learned the language there. I did, at least. My dad immigrated here. That's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at is, if you don't really learn a language from a young age, it's going to be very hard to really dial it in, lock in with something like Duolingo and learn the language. That's the reality. The older you get, the harder it's going to be. And the biggest thing now is, guys, AI. The biggest thing is these virtual translators that people don't, people want to learn the language. It's something that it's awesome speaking another language. I love it. Speaking Greek, going there, being able to do that. It's a great thing. But people are just not going to do it. They're going to use their phones. They're going to be like, blah, blah, blah. Say this, they're going to type in Google Translate or whatever, say this. And that's how they're going to communicate in different languages or in different countries, rather. They're going to use these translator apps. They're going to use these, this AI crap, right? What do you think is going to happen, guys, in 3-5 years? Now, it's happening now. And it's only going to get better. People are just going to have their phones. They're going to be in these different countries. And they're going to be like, yo, they're going to say something in English. And it's going to spit it out in Spanish, right? Or people are going to be speaking in Spanish. And it's going to translate it to English to you. Or whatever language. And nowadays, the new AirPods, don't they literally, translate? That's one of the features the new AirPods have, and that's only going to get better. These AirPods literally in real time translate audio into your native language. So that all hurts Duolingo. At the end of the day, it hurts Duolingo. And it's a beautiful thing being bilingual. It's awesome knowing how to speak different languages, but with technology, AI, right? These apps, I just think there's going to be less and less incentive for people to actually learn a language. And let's be honest, people these days, especially if you didn't grow up with the language, most people are not going to be driven to actually teach themselves the language. It's just not going to happen. And I don't want to rant too much on this, but Duolingo, I'm staying away from it. Fundamentally, I think there's some flaws with it. I think AI tech is just going to knock these guys out of the park, and not in a good way. But what do you guys think about that? Maybe that could be a reason why the stock's falling. Or maybe investors are realizing people just don't, at the end of the day, people are not going to care about learning new languages, in my opinion. They're going to want to know how to say banana or how to say hello, but they're not going to want to learn complex languages or really dive deep into the language, which that's going to hurt Duolingo, right? Let's keep it real, longer term. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Run the likes up. This turned into a Duolingo video, from Sofi to Duolingo, right? So what do you guys think? Make sure to join the Patreon if you want to be, a part of the Discord, see what stocks I'm buying. You get my real-time portfolio updates. All of that linked down below, pinned in the comments as well. I'll see you in the next video.